October 2015, got into a terrible accident. I fell 50 feet to hard pavement, and as a result of that, I broke both my hands, compound fractures, dislocated my right shoulder, my pelvis split. I had broken vertebrae, broken ribs, fractured ankle. That was just the orthopedic stuff. I also had a collapsed lung, pneumonia, head contusion, and I think I had an aneurysm. Internal bleeding, small intestine was ruptured. I was knocked out for 6 weeks, so I was unconscious for 6 weeks. It's hard to like remember it all. To like recall my doctors, my parents especially, my parents and brother, all these my friends who came to visit. They were like, "Yeah, dude, you're gonna be fine." You know, they didn't know. They have no idea like what the recovery process is like. But my parents were like, "Dude, you know, just like brush it off your shoulder." You know? It was frustrating. It was like I was like, how can you even empathize with this situation? You have no idea what's going on. How can you imagine like this pain that you're in and this mental state of like, I'm gonna say this, I was depressed. Like I was depressed and hopeless and sad, and you know, like I felt so deprived of all these things. And I remember the nurse being like, "Oh, he should be outside with his friends, like drinking at a bar. Like he shouldn't be here right now." And I'm like, "I know." I didn't realize that like I had this like whole network that was supporting me, and my friends had they bought me an iPad. They all like recorded themselves saying happy birthday, like we miss you, like we care about you. They're saying all these really nice things, and I started tearing up at that point, and I was like, I asked my nurse, this was like eight weeks down the line, and I was like, what do I have to do to get back? You know, what do I have to do to get back to these people, to get back to my life? And she's like, well, you gotta start by sitting up. So they're like, you gotta stop complaining about sitting in the chair. And I'm like, you're right. And that was the like start of me finding determination to get up and move on, man. Like, yeah, this happened. The first step was getting acclimated to sitting up, just holding my own in the chair and not lying down the whole time. And once I was able to do that, the PT started. Start my PT and OT. And the first remarkable thing that I remember is standing up. I just remember standing up, and that took so much effort. That took like my entire being to stand up. And I only stood for like 2 seconds, and then like I had to sit down again. And I was like, maybe I can get back to it. Overall, it was 6 months. I went from power chair for like 2 months, a wheelchair, forearm crutch, to crutches, and then to a cane, a bunch of different apparatuses just to get me on my feet. By being able to walk, that told me that I can get everything else back, and I can do even better. At the end of PT, they recommended that I can go back to the gym. I reached out to my old strength and conditioning coach. I have friends in Somerville called Achieve Fitness, and you should go check them out. And I was like, Somerville, I was living in Westboro, and I was like, nah, pass. I was like, you know, maybe these people can train me, maybe they can't, whatever. I'll give it a chance. The plan molded to who I was, and I thought that was like impossible. I thought no one would be able to create a workout plan for me. Suddenly, my walking improved, my flexibility improved, my mobility, just like getting around, doing things, improved. I could bend down. I could sit down on the ground, and I could stand back up. No ease. I could squat down, like, on my heels. One of the first things that my first PT told me in the hospital was that don't compare yourself to the person you were before your accident. Compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. I think like the most like motivating part is that the mentality of that I'm gonna get better every day, which like even if I don't experience like gains in shorthand right away, if I look back a month or 2 months, it's miles. I'm like a completely different person. It's not the same case for everyone, and I don't want to sound conceited, or I don't want to sound I don't want to take this statement too far, but I just think that we really feel incapable sometimes, and sometimes you just have to erase that from your mind. The fact, like the I can't do this mentality, like that needs to go. There are things in our life that we don't even acknowledge that are making us happy. For every positive, there is a negative, but you can choose to focus on the negatives, or you can choose to focus on the positives. You can let that take over your life. You can let that consume you. Or you can find ways to get past that. You can try to find solutions. Retrospectively now, when people like ask, you know, if people say anything in the first place, they're like, "Did you hurt your ankle?" And I'm like, "Yeah."